Okay, this is where we're at right now. I wanted to do a brief recap of the steps in bodywork that I used to get to this point. So let's start out with, straight from the EDP. So the first thing I did was I block sanded the EDP to kind of highlight any metal work that needed to be done. And then I started to strip the EDP with a surfacer tool and took all the EDP off once I completed most of the metal work and got everything as flat as possible. I then, rolled the rig into the booth and sealed all the bare metal with a direct-to-metal epoxy. Then I applied the Optex Super Build 4-to-1 polyester primer, which is basically spray-on Bondo. Took that and block sanded it, and block sanded and block sanded. Took a long time. Once I isolated areas that needed filler, I used the Optex filler. It's kind of cool. It changes color. So first thing you see is it's pink, and then when it's ready to sand, it's green. So I did, most of the rough body work in that fashion. I had a number of areas where I had burned through to metal. So I put a seal coat of white epoxy on at that point. Then stripped the tub back down. First thing I did was take the body, removed it from the frame, took all the small parts, set them aside, got all the loose panels ready for finish. So I took all the loose panels, the small interior panels, coated them with white epoxy, then hit them with ceramic chassis black. So those are ready. Core support, other things. Did the same thing with the inner fender wells, prepped them. Then I took the tub, rolled it into the booth, scuffed all the interior surfaces, and got everything into a nice uniform coat of white epoxy. Then I applied white epoxy to the interiors of the hoods, doors, all the loose panels that were taken off the body. After that, I applied lizard skin to the interior panels, both sound and thermal control. Then on the bottom side, I applied a Raptor liner as a chip guard. I did this to the inner fender wells as well as the bottom of the chassis. This product is very hard. Difficult to get tape to stick to, however. So then I rolled it back into the shop, the tub back into the shop, and applied body color to all of the interior panels, jambs, anything, backsides of doors, trunk deck, any place that was going to be difficult to paint when I got it all back together. After that, I applied a high build primers, 2K high build primer to the outer body surfaces. So the quarter panels, deck, tail, hood, trunk, doors. So all the external panels, after I applied the interior body color, I put high build primer on. So now we're at a place where I can rebuild put the chassis all back together and get to a point where I can now start the final bodywork. So my plan is to get this all put back together, put it back on the frame, assemble the doors, trunk deck, the nose, all of it, and get to a point where I can now go ahead, block sand everything out for the final block sand, address any scratches or minor imperfections with dolphin glaze or some other glaze, and, careful not to burn through. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just wanted to recap some of that because I didn't take you through all of it because, quite honestly, parts of it were boring me to tears. So I wanted to just give a brief recap of the steps I took to get here. Do you need to do all this? No. Is it a little overboard? Probably. But at the end of the day, I wanted all the interior panels to be painted properly so when you open up any panel on this car, it looks right. So let's take it from here.
Okay, so next up in the process, I'm just going to take a few minutes and try to protect the paint on those rockers. I'm going to use this sticky back film. I'll get those covered up so that, through the rest of the process, they don't get hit with sandpaper or anything. And then I'll take the body off the rotisserie, get the frame back under it. But first I'm gonna I got a little bit of overspray and dirt in a few areas on this frame that I want to clean up before I put it under the car again and mask it a little better. Believe it or not, I use these for that. I don't know what it is about Gojo hand wipes, but they will take overspray, paint, everything off a cured finish like no tomorrow. I don't know why. I have friends that use them in screen print shops to clean equipment. We used it in inkjet shops to clean the equipment. I don't know what's in them, but they work great for this sort of thing. So, you know, just a couple minutes, you can see I actually just touched that rail there out of curiosity, and yeah, came right off. So I'm gonna do that, get this masked off a little better, get ready to mate these two pieces back up. But first I'm gonna just protect those rocker panels and get it so that they're not gonna be a problem. Okay, got the frame rails cleaned up, the rocker panels masked off, or protected, and the body starting to roll the chassis under the body. So the next step is I'm going to lower this down. Notice I've got the front of the body a little higher than the back. That is so that it'll pick up these pivot points first. So what I'll do is I'll lower it down, line up these two bolt holes, slide the bolts in, and then as I set the car down, it'll pivot down onto the front 6 bolts. It works very, very good, hopefully. Again, it did last time anyway. So I'm gonna go through and get that kind of lined up and brought in line with it, and I'll bring you back when I got something to show you. But the idea being, get this on, then I can start doing doors, trunk decks, and all that good stuff. So yeah, there we go. Okay, body is back on the frame. It took me a little longer because it was, I had to keep coming over, lowering the lift, go back, check it, line it. It took a while. So that was, you know, a good hour to get that placed. It's on there, it's all bolted up. Hopefully it'll for the last time. So that's kind of a key moment. Yeah, this is about it for today. Tomorrow I'm going to start putting, well, I got to put the temporary steering shaft back in it so I can wheel it around. Then I'm going to start doing the doors and trunk deck and other panels. So, yeah, I'll probably wrap this video up right here. That was, it feels good. It's coming together. So, yeah, that's about it. Like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Share it with your friends, whatever. Okay, thanks.